Let's talk about some baritone guitars for once. I'm Kai Down, and today I'm going to be talking through 5 guitars that I want that they don't make. While this video is essentially going to be how I'd spec a custom from each of these 5 brands, I'm going to pull inspiration from their current lineups so that they should all remain within the realms of achievable. I'd also like to mention that my Photoshop skills are worlds away from being perfect, so these mock-ups are more just to give a general idea of what I'd like to see. The first one that comes to mind is a more modern version of the Gretsch G5260 Baritone. Don't get me wrong, this model is super powerful even stock. Loathe have proved this one time and time again. That said, there are a couple of shortcomings in this model in my opinion that could be modernised with a couple of very minor adjustments. I've swapped the pickups out from the stock mini humbuckers to Gretsch's Filtertron style humbuckers, and I've changed the finish out to Gretsch's Fairline Blue finish. Both of these changes were inspired by the Gretsch G5420. While the Gretsch Filtertrons wouldn't be super modern and aggressive sounding in their own right, it's more about getting the humbucker routings in place so that you're able to mod them. The colour change is completely superficial, but I quite like the idea of a baritone guitar that really pops, and the current range of Gretsch baritones are kind of drab and dreary. Next, let's jump over to something a little bit weirder. This is a PRS S2 single cut 277. This is essentially taking a bunch of different PRS models and smashing them together. Most importantly, we've got the body shape of the S2 single cut with the scale length and the bridge of the PRS SE 277. We've then stripped the electronics right down to a single humbucker wired straight to a volume knob to the output jack. This is inspired by the PRS SE1. As for colour on this one, I really liked the colour of this S2 594 in Robin's Egg Blue. Okay, the next one is probably the most achievable of the lot and maybe by extension also the most boring. ESP/LTD have been putting a ton of work into their baritone representation recently. It's been awesome, but what I'd really like to see is the EC1000 Evertune model blended with the 27-inch EC1000 baritone model. Now, I've never personally tried an Evertune equipped guitar, but this seems like it'd be an awesome combo. Back to the probably not gonna happen category. We've got Danelectro doing something modern. I love the look of the Dano 56 baritone in dark teal, but it could definitely do with some modern accoutrements. Firstly, that hollow body has really got to go. Let's just patch straight over this one. While I love the look of the lipstick style single coil pickups, they're not really suited very well for high gain. To keep it in line with Danelectro's existing range, let's swap in these lipstick style humbuckers from the Danelectro 59X. I'm also not a massive lover of the clear pickguard look, so let's swap that one out for a tortoiseshell instead. As much as I'd like to swap the tuners out for locking tuners and the bridge for something more modern, I think it's nice and fairly realistic where we've got it, so let's leave it as is. Lastly, we've got a more metal version of the Harley Benton Guitar Bass VS. That sunburst finish and those single coil pickups have got to go. Let's swap it out for a nice bright purple finish and stick a humbucker in the bridge position, and it looks so much better already. So I've actually been badgering Harley Benton about this one for quite some time, and I took it upon myself to build it instead. If you missed my video covering everything that went into this one, I've added a link in the description box below. While you're there, I'd also appreciate it if you could drop me a subscribe. Ultimately though, I'd be happy if they just released this one in any solid colour with humbucker routing rather than the 3 single coil routing it's currently got. So that's all I've got for this video. It's been super fun to try and dive in and try and make things as realistic as possible while also making them new and exciting. I've got a bunch more of these ideas with other brands, so if you'd like to see me do a part 2 of this one, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching.